Lisa Haven here, and I have a red alert to share with you. Julian Assange, the patriotic journalist who exposed mass amounts of corruption with the Clintons and the Clinton campaign, is now in major trouble. According to a WikiLeaks article, they are stating that the Department of Justice here in the United States of America is attempting to go after him via the Espionage Act, which means Julian Assange will be at risk for the death penalty. Now, before I get into the report, just a quick break. You are either a prepper or you are a future victim. The truth of the matter is, emergencies do indeed happen. Hurricanes such as Hurricane Michael, Ivan, and Katrina all wreaked havoc across America, leaving thousands, if not tens of thousands of people out of power and the basic necessities of food. Right now in the northwestern United States, many states and cities are getting hit with massive flooding, leaving grocery stores empty and people craving the basic necessities. When the devastation hits, it's already too late to prepare. So prepare now when times are good, or suffer and pay the consequences later. Ask yourself, could you feed your family or your loved ones in the event of some kind of emergency? If not, then maybe today is the day that you get the emergency food supply that you need. Personally, I only trust and use my Patriot supply at preparewithlisa.com. I've also managed to convince them to keep the specials that they've had last month and extend them into this month. So right now, you've got the amazing deal of getting a 2 weeks food supply kit at $75. Even better, you can get a 4 weeks food supply kit for $147. These kits will get you everything you need. I'm talking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, things like pancakes, potato soup, as well as long grain rice. The food kits at My Patriot Supply last up to 25 years, if not longer, and they ship directly to your door. Now is also the time to take advantage of that 45% off because I don't know how long it'll last. So go to hidewithlisa.com and get food storage today. All right. Back to the broadcast. As I stated earlier, Julian Assange is in major risk, and it's likely he could face the death penalty here in America. But let me prove to you what I'm talking about. Check this out. It's on twitter.com under the WikiLeaks Twitter feed, which states, the United States Department of Justice is attempting to build a case against Julian Assange based on the Espionage Act. Convictions under the Espionage Act can be punishable by death. Now, if you don't know what the Espionage Act is, I'm going to toss this up. The Espionage Act of 1917 was passed along with the Trading with the Enemy Act just after the U.S. entered World War I in April 1917. The Espionage Act law imposed much stiffer penalties than the 1911 law, including the death penalty. Now, WikiLeaks goes on to reference this article on netzpoluk.org titled, WikiLeaks, the U.S. is indeed investigating Assange for publishing secret information. This is according to a DOJ letter. It goes on to state, right after the London police carried Julian Assange from the Ecuadorian embassy, the U.S. demanded his extradition. A March 2018 indictment charges him with a conspiracy to commit computer intrusion, carrying a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison. But that is not entirely true. It goes on, only 1 day after writing the indictment, the U.S. Attorney's Office admitted it was also investigating Assange for the unauthorized receipt and dissemination of secret information. That is what the DOJ wrote in a letter to former WikiLeaks spokesman, Daniel Berg, which we are publishing in full, and you can see it below. But it goes on to say this accusation can be charged under the Espionage Act of 1917, a World War I era federal law intended to protect military secrets, which has also been used to charge Chelsea Manning and Edward Snowden. Convictions under the Espionage Act can be punished by death. The death penalty is not only inhumane and archaic, it also has legal consequences. The UK is not allowed to extradite Assange if he faces the death penalty. That's what is happening to Assange, a man who exposed Hillary Clinton and her email files, a man who's committed no crime other than exposing crime itself. Since when did exposing crime become a criminal act? And here, not only is this happening in the United States, but we see it on a global scale. There is an attack on our freedom of speech. And now, Julian Assange is supposedly looking at the death penalty. The only small hint of good is that according to the UK law, they cannot send Julian Assange over if he's facing the death penalty. And I hope they at least stick to that. But I'm here to tell you, there is an attack on our freedom of speech, our freedom of press, like there never has been before. They're literally making, on public platforms, like mainstream media is painting Julian Assange as some negative man, as somebody who's committed a crime, when in reality, he has done nothing criminal. Our hands are starting to be tied as journalists. So just pray for the state of our country. Anyhow, I wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.